Hey, welcome back to the channel. How you guys doing today? Before we get started, please like and subscribe, leave a comment, and let's begin. Today, I want to talk about of how we read certain parts of the Bible. I believe that there's some parts in the Bible that we just need to read straight without looking into too much details. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. Revelations or Daniel's. There's parts in those books where if you overthink it or if you try to go into details, you'll get more confused. It's really interesting how when you start to read, I started to read John, and there it gets you intrigued into looking into the details. But I noticed when I started to read Daniel's or Revelations that trying to look for the same details of, like, when I was reading John, it got me more confused. And then, the next day I just started to read it without looking at any of the details. And I kind of understood it. And it was great. Sorry, I got this mosquito flying around. It's kind of annoying. But yeah, I think we need to read certain parts of the Bible, just read it without looking into great details. I think that's, for me, anyway, for me, I find that intriguing. And I notice now when I read Revelations and I don't look for those details of what's what, I get it. And maybe it's a weird thing, but that's how I see it. And also, just the other day, I was watching a movie. It was called Devil's Advocate. I think it was a great movie. And it's incredibly well done in the sense of how the devil really works, and how he feeds us, he feeds into our ego, where we make these decisions based on things we would like from the world, money, power, status. It's kind of incredible where, how do you say it, where our everyday goal is to get a bigger house, nicer car, have more of status, your friends always showing off. This is why we always on Facebook trying to find out how's the other one doing. Is he doing better than me? Now, I'm just saying, not everyone. I like to use the platform just to get some messages out of what I think. Usually I do that in the mornings, read a verse, paste it. That's what I kind of use. If there's a platform where I can maybe get someone interested, then it works for me. Some people don't. Some people use it just to look up the other friends and, hey, look what I got. I also do it. So since I'm in Puerto Rico and my church is in Texas, I try to use the Facebook Live that they have. It's incredible. So we got to use what is today so we can use to spread the word. I think that's what one of the problems is with these old school way of mentality thinking of, oh, that's the devil's way. We can't do it that way. Remember, back in the days, the Pharisee would just focus on what was written, what was written. They didn't look into anything, and they didn't realize that, Jesus was a plain person who was going to come in a donkey, not in a, let's say, Bugatti, where lots of jewelry. In other words, he was a simple man. He didn't change the words, he just presented it differently. And I think that's one of our major problems. A lot of people can accept that, but it's okay, because if they truly believe, right, with their hearts, it doesn't matter if they think I'm right or wrong. Who am I to judge the way that they believe, right? So, and like I'm doing now, I'm putting my little way of what I think out there. It doesn't mean that I'm right in your eyes, but who knows? My goal is to just try to talk about God as much as I can. See if someone gives me some comments or questions where, I can try to educate myself, because, we can learn from anybody, In my profession, I'm a chef, and I can learn from the basic stewards, how to do something. And that's what's great about life. But sometimes we take life for granted, we complain, but don't want to do the work. It's kind of embarrassing, there's a lot of, and I don't like labeling anyone, but there's a lot of people that say they are, I'm religious, I'm this, but then you see them posting in Facebook, hey, look at my glamorous life. And believe me, I was one of them. I thought that if I show the people that know me, look at the blessings that I've been getting, maybe they want the same thing, but no. That was just really kind of like showing off, look at me, wow. And I kind of realized that. That's why I don't like giving myself a label, because when you give yourself a label, then you have people challenging you. And if you're not prepared when somebody comes up to you, you lose. And, even though God gives us all an armor, if you don't truly believe in that armor, then, you fail. I'm the type of person that someone asks me, there's easy ways, of how you get out of those situations when people ask you, how do you know God is real? And then I'll come up with something real simple. How do we know that Thomas Edison created the telephone or the light? Benjamin Franklin, how do we know that George Washington was the first president? Well, it was documented, so was the Bible. That's how I look at it, and I don't believe in coincidence. I think things happen for a reason. If we truly believe in the word, something tells you in your heart that what the blessings that you're getting is because of what you've been doing. I can say there's a saying, in Spanish, but I'll say it in English. If you hang out with a thief, you must be a thief. If you hang out with a drug dealer, you must be a drug dealer. And that's not true at all. And I think that's one of the major problems that a lot of us have, that we are afraid of what people think. Listen, I learned not to care about what people think, and if they don't like it, well, it's too bad. And that might be a New York thing, but I really don't care. I used to. I used to think, if I don't have that status and that so-called respect, which is all nonsense, You know, um, I thought I was a no one, but you know what? I am someone. I'm a child of God, and that's all I need. Because at the end, all these people that look for the clout and for the the satisfaction of saying, "Yeah, I'm someone," at the end, if they never believed, I'm the one who's going to be going into the club. They're the ones that are going to be stuck outside, you know. And that's a way of saying, I'm the one who's going to be walking into the kingdom, and they're not. So, what does that make me? Rich beyond rich, because money is not going to buy you eternal life. Faith and loving God will, and it's so simple, but it's not easy, right? We're going to be going through trials and tribulations. We're going to be hitting some downfalls, just to see. Well, this is I'm not saying that God tests everybody. I don't know, but sometimes I feel that, if I fail at something that I should be doing right, and, it's like getting smacked up, when you did something wrong, your parents will smack you up in the head. I feel that God does that to us. Like, hey, McFly, wake up. You're doing this wrong. And if you don't believe, then you start saying, oh, it's got to be a coincidence. That's just lying to yourself. We all know, especially people my age. I'm 50 years old. And I was introduced to God at a young age. My mom always took me to church. Did I make a decision of not going, not listening? Yeah, I think most of us did, right? Because we wanted that freedom and that the status. Because all you do is, you see on TV, oh, how come I don't have this? How come I don't have that? And that's what I thought. I thought that the Brady Bunch was the way everyone should have, and that's so not true. Then you have these athletes, with all this status and all this fame, and you want to have what they have for nothing, because it's not about how much money you have or the status. Hey, look, we can even in the movies. Look at Scarface. That's a movie that it was great. I love Al Pacino. I think he's a great actor. But what's the outcome? You can have all the money in the world, but at the end, you lose. You lose all that sacrificing, all that stuff that we all know that's all wrong. At the end, what do you gain? You gain nothing. He coked up, got shot, and fell into a fountain. And all that, what? Who's there with the money? It's either you're dead or you're in prison. Is that the lifestyle that people look for to get on top and all of a sudden fall down? We have these musicians that, or comedians, actors that they have it all, and then decide to take their lives away. For what? Why? Because in the beginning we think we want that status, we want that fame, we want that power, we want that money. And at the end, you don't have nothing. You die. You don't take the big house. You don't take none of the cars you have. You don't take nothing. So we live on this fantasy. I gotta live for today, and if I live for today, I'm gonna live to the fullest, no matter who I hurt, no matter what I do. But I'm gonna live to the full. That's the most stupidest thing in the world to think. You have to live righteously. You have to live in reality. And reality is things are not going to pan out the way you think. it is. Hopefully, we could always think that we could always solve it. Hopefully, in the next video, I'll have a young person who I'm trying to get on and speak why young kids today don't like to admit or don't want to know nothing about Jesus. So hopefully I can get to that. If this video seems a little bit off, it's been a while. Been trying to finish helping up my parents with the house and try to get things started. But you know what? I know with God's help, everything's gonna be okay. So thank you for taking time. Please leave a comment, questions, and subscribe. Thank you, and God bless you all.